DJs BrewTube beer review. You know what, guys? I just got my workout on. As you can see, I'm looking all grungy, rocking the bandana. And I'm ready for my reward beer. And as you know, one of the styles that I like as a reward beer is a really hoppy beer. But you're saying, DJ, in front of you, the bottle looks like it has a Christmas sort of scene on it. Well, hell yes it does. But this is a special beer. That's right, it's a beer from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company out of Chico, California, US of A. Yay, yay. And soon, North Carolina, US of A as well. And what beer is it? It's a beer that's been around since 1981. That's right, it's their Celebration Ale. Now, I reviewed this beer like 2 years ago when I still had a camera that looked like I was shooting the video through a potato lens, and I didn't know as much as I do about beer, I guess, now. But how much do we all know anyway? Because a lot of this shit's subjective, but I certainly have a lot more IPAs under my belt now than I did back then. Now, this is a fresh hop IPA. Now, what does this mean? It doesn't mean that it's whole leaf cones that are still wet. That's a wet hop beer. This means it's super fresh hop pellets that just came out of the factory from the harvest, and Sierra Nevada gets them in there and they brew them into the ale. Now, this particular beer is a 6.8% ABV and 65 IBU brew, which for, if you think about it, in 1981, 65 IBUs was freaking gigantic. So, what do we got for hops in this? That's the main player in this bad boy. We got Cascade, Centennial, and Chinook. Those were the big boys back in the 80s especially, man. That was mainly what was around, and they put the whole kitchen sink into it. Now, for malt, it's a real straightforward beer. It's got two-row pale and caramel. Now, consequently, or maybe incidentally, that's the same kind of malt bill that Anchor uses in Old Foghorn, which is sort of a predecessor of this beer. I think that was started back in like 75, 78, somewhere around there. And also, it's the same malt bill base as Bigfoot. Coincidence? I don't think so, because Ken Grossman, who started Sierra Nevada, he used to work at Anchor, now didn't he? So, anyways, enough flapping my gums. Let's get the top popped on this and see what 2 years of beer reviewing experience has taught me about beer, kind of, maybe. I don't know. And at least I'm going to see what my current opinion is. So, let's get the cap popped. Boom. Lovely Sierra Nevada Crown. Of course, we'll obsessively collect that. I can smell the freaking hops wafting from here. Wow, look at that. Now, I think the last time when I reviewed this, the bottle might have been a little bit dated. Who knows? You know what? I didn't look for dates maybe as much back then. Hell, I think this was like review number 8 or something back in the day. Wow, smelling nice. Anyways, let's get an appearance first. Super clear, lots of active carbonation. We got about a finger and a quarter of a super tightly packed head. Nice khaki off-white color to it, man. That is a gorgeous looking beer. Lovely caramel color from that caramel malt. I'm getting a little bit of alcohol legs, but you know, it is a 6.8%er, which was a really big beer back in the 80s, especially the 81. Not any glass lacing right now. Yeah, a little bit, but I suspect as I drink this down, that'll change. It's time to get an aroma in this beer and see what's up in that department. I'm diving in. Oh, yeah. Man, first thing you're greeted with is pine, then a bit of citrus, bit of grass. This beer is super fresh, by the way. The bottle date on the back tells me this is about like 2.5 weeks old. That's rocking. Man, then there's that caramel malt. It's still, I actually went back and watched my old review, and I was saying how it had a malt backbone and stumbling upon some words to describe the beer. But yeah, it does have a nice malt aroma as well. Not a hint of alcohol in there, but pine, citrus, like sort of citrus peel zest. Bit of grassy herbal, man, and that caramel malt, man, it smells lovely. That pretty sweetness. I'm ready to dive in, guys. I'm thirsty and ready for some hop happiness in my life. Cheers. Yeah. Man, look at that. Glass lacing. Gorgeous beer. Wow. Wow. Tasty beer. Okay. First thing I get on this up front, I get that citrus zest. Then after that, sweet caramel malt and like breadiness in there. A bit of toffee also. At the sides of my tongue, I'm getting like pine bitterness. And then back, I'm getting like grassy herbal bitterness. It has a drier finish than you would think by the malt sweetness that you taste. It's got a nice medium body. There's not a hint of alcohol in it. Surprisingly, I actually get a little tiny bit of warming in the chest. This beer is drinking right now about 48 degrees. I think that's the right temperature for this one. but there's a lot of great balance in here. And at this point, unlike back in 2012 when I reviewed this beer, I've had Bigfoot several times that I've reviewed it and remembered it and really, you know, picked through it. And it's almost to me like in some ways that like Bigfoot is like the bigger version, the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch of this beer. This was in 81. I think Bigfoot started around like 83 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It might have been before then. But beer memory's failing me. I must need to drink more. But wow, super tasty, super easy to drink. You can taste the fresh, vibrant hop flavors in there from those super fresh pellets that they use in this. As fresh as this beer is, man, I'm sure I'm getting as much of it as I'm ever going to get unless I get it off tap somewhere even fresher. But man, really tasty beer. I'm digging it. So, what do we give it grade-wise? Well, Beer Advocate gives it a 93. Rate Beer gives it a 98. This is the 2014 vintage, by the way, guys, back in 2012. With that vintage that I graded back then, I was giving it between a B+ and an A-. I couldn't even make up my mind. I'm going to give this beer an A. I'm going to give it a 95. It's really tasty. It's got really great balance, and the thing that impresses me the most is that it's a recipe back from 1981 that is still rocking today, and I've tasted a lot of beers that taste like this beer, and I think this has been is a very influential watermark sort of beer. It's reasonably priced for a 6-pack, and it accompanies food really well. So if you've had this beer, let me know what you think, guys. If it's been another year, it doesn't matter because the recipes pretty much remain the same. So let me know what you think, because I like your opinion too, because I don't know everything. So, to the next DJs BrewTube, I would really like it if you would think globally, drink locally, and support the craft beer movement, so beers like this one that has survived since 1981 in its same format can keep impressing us year after year, and we'll keep drinking them, and man, this thing will just keep growing and flowering into something even more freaking awesome. So, until then, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. Until the next DJs BrewTube, I got a celebration going on here all by myself, drinking some of this lovely hoppy beer, and you know what I got for you? That's right, a big ass.